Oh, yeah. Almost went one, took one for the team. But hey, here I am, back again. I know I said that was the last one, but seems like there's something that I have to clear up. And because of just this one person that I saw, Estratini. Estratini. Wow. Okay. But anyways, let's just play the clip. Let's go.
These my dads make it hurt.
Okay, welcome back after that clip. Oh, gotta have coffee. Yo, Milu the coffee at some point. Yo. Okay, welcome again to another Expo Visual Arts video. Okay, number one, I saw this person, Stratini, Angelo I'm a phone, they are actually gonna replace a camera. That's what I need to clear up. Number one, I don't like to prove points. Two, like, he really touched my buttons. I think that's why I'm actually doing this video. Yeah, I think that's why. Okay, number one, my cell phone. These guys, they're not trying to replace the camera. Yes, I know good value isn't the buyer value, they are going digital, so isn't all like we share on our social media, we share via share it, my email and stuff. And I did say last time, which okay, they are doing a pretty good job. But then if you actually remember correctly, I said when you snap a picture and then you wanna send it off to YouTube or Instagram or what, because that's what this guy's actually meant to do. Okay, and another thing, the basis of this guy, the basis of this guy. Let's take the base, like the most basic thing that this guy was actually meant for. This guy was actually meant for communication, calling, SMSing, maybe sending a please call, just general communication. And then all these other extras, they were just added there for extra, as in issue available. No, they were just there for extra. That's why they are there. Your camera is only as good as you are. Your camera. Actually, that also brings me to another point where people like you guys really need to pay us the amount that we actually say we as in fit, like we deserve it. Like minusnike sacela that money sneak, because we know why we actually charge that amount of money to our clients, to you as our potential customer. We know why. Okay, number one, let's come back. Wait, let's come back. Number one, this guy will not or will never replace this boy. This guy will not replace this boy. Here's why. Half of the time, Mauyenza a video. A phone can only last, if I'm not mistaken, not more than 1 hour 30 minutes. If I'm not mistaken. Mind you, I say really if I'm not mistaken because I'm still not sure if these guys can still record up to 3, 4, 5 hours longer. Because I'm a phone these days, they're coming out with better memory, like 512 gigabytes, 1 terabyte of storage space. But I don't think they can actually record throughout the whole day. Because these guys were only meant to record about 1 hour 30 minutes long, not more than. If it's more, please let me know. If your phone can actually record the whole day, like throughout, without you stopping, pressing record, stopping, pressing record, stop. No, like when you record, like once off, like once you start record, you record going, like uyaya, awumi, like you don't stop. More record. Yeah. And then your picture quality, your actual picture quality is as big as this guy. Nah, that's how big it is. Mabati actual picture size. That's how big it is. It is never as big as a book, like a full frame. Your picture will never come up as this big. On this guy, it will never come up as this big. It's always very small. That's why when you go into a printing place, they direct you to a certain machine. Or yellow. Esikhathini esibhaya ngathi uhleli la ikhonini uyi1 and then you just send Bluetooth and then you just send information to to that machine, and then that machine will actually print out. Reason being is that because that machine can actually read AI, your artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, that's what it is. It's your PA, let me just say. Your PA for your phone. That's why you don't actually think about. That's why you guys, when you take pictures, yeah, that's what you guys do. That's what you guys do. That's what you guys do. That's why I have TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, what other social medias? I think Facebook can only take up to 2 hours of recording time, if I'm not mistaken. The highest I've actually uploaded on Facebook was an hour 35 minutes. That's as long as a movie. That's a movie actually. If you actually put it into perspective, it's a movie, full-on movie. Yeah. Now, coming to this guy. This guy, number one, has a very higher picture resolution than the camera yako, than your phone camera. And yes, even bigger than the iPhone. To you, iPhone person using an iPhone. This guy's megapixels, they're actually much higher than than your phone. That's why this guy will never replace this guy, because this guy only has 1 or 2 concentrations, which is camera, which is picture and video. Picture, video. Those are the only 2 concentrations. That's why since the processor it's much bigger. It's much bigger, so it can actually adapt to more pixels in a day. Dots per pixels, yeah. Dots per pixels, yeah. That's how you actually pronounce it, dots per pixel. And then these guys can actually record over 4 hours to 7 hours of recording time, depending on how good your battery is. If your battery is still new, yeah, you can record up to 6 hours recording time. 6 hours recording time non-stop, like throughout, non-stop. And video quality yakhona, it's much more clearer than a phone. Mawuqala video uthatha uyifaka on post, and then once you actually put it into post, ikuvezela like the actual size of video yakho ukuthi ingakanani, the actual size. Masithi okay fine, manje ke yazi manje necessary processor vele siyibeka vele into perspective. Yeah, and then coming to reason number 2. Why do we actually charge that amount that we charge? We charge that amount because when you take a picture as a photographer, when you take a picture, there's actually about 4 if not 5 things we have to think about all at the same time, and we have to make an effort which those things are actually align with what I'm trying to shoot. One, what I think about is the light meter. The light meter, how bright is the picture, how dark is the picture, those type of things. ISO, okay, ISO really is an international standard organization. That on its own, it actually affects how the picture looks. Yeah. 3 and 4, framing and composition. Some people might argue that framing and composition is one thing. I like to think of them as 2 separate things. Why? Composition is how your background looks, right? And then framing, it's how am I gonna place you. It's either in between or just next to, or how the frame is gonna look when I actually take the picture. Yeah. And then 5. Oh, I want number 5. There's storytelling. Sometimes a picture doesn't just scream out, hey, I'm a picture. Sometimes you have to sit down, think about it, and then you have to say, okay, what kind of a story am I trying to tell here? What kind of vision am I trying to portray here? That's how storyline works. Like, what is the metaphor? Like, what is the type of let's say maybe thing or subject I'm trying to actually make it scream out. So as a professional photographer, you actually have to think about those 5 things each and every day, and each and every time that you actually take a picture. That's why I'm saying that, okay, sharp. At times when we put up these prices, just pay us, dude. Just like simple as that. Just pay us the amount. Don't argue. We know why we actually pay that amount. All the effort, all the time, or the things that I have to think about, test shots, how is this gonna look, how is this gonna be perceived, how is it. I like your people who actually take pictures with their cell phones. You see that, okay, this person didn't even think about things, just went and then just moved on. We as photographers, like, let's say maybe I meet a person right around in the streets, and then they ask me, dude, you are a professional photographer, can you please take a picture with me? Like, here's my phone, just take a picture. Mind you, if I was just someone random, I would just say, okay, sure, I feel it, and then move on. But then, because I'm a professional photographer, as soon as I point this camera at you I look at the composition, I look at the framing, I look at the dirty things which are gonna be distracting. I don't want things to distract whoever is gonna be the viewer. After that, I have to remove all these things. Composition, yo, it's like your background. Your background has to look. Your background has to look. Okay, and then another thing, number 5, I have to think about, okay, Sharp, what are you trying to say about this picture? What are you trying to say? Okay, Sharp, if you want to have yourself as the attention, I know what, okay, Sharp, okay, if I can place you in this composition and this framing will actually take you out as like the main subject. Like, yo, people concentrate on me, don't look at the background, don't pay any attention onto the background. That's why when like most of the time when I take a picture with my phone, I actually ask my friend, good mntana, babe, frazo ungishaye picture mara ngicela uyibheke kahle, yabona. He knows what to do. Like, okay, Sharp, that he will move around, and he will try to tell me, oh, number 6, directing. Like, when you move a person to a certain way or a certain let's say if you move them a certain way or a certain position, or just have them pose in a certain way. Yeah. That's also directing. I have to direct you with all those things. I have to think about all those things all at the same time, because at the end of the day, you as a client, you have to love these pictures. And so they have to speak something. It's either they speak something or you guys have to love them. And then I want you to take that picture really and then have it for days and days, so that when you actually think about someone else taking a picture, you're like, no. As in, this time, kapananglande vele ulo kunjana. Expo, ngilande uchimejika, I see you tomorrow. Like, those guys are actually professional photographers. They know what they do. Like, they actually think about all these things, all in the same sentence, all in the same time, all in the same space. So when we charge you that amount, it's not because vele like, yeah, vele ilo kunjana. We want to charge you that amount, but it's the effort, the time. And then mangizobuya futhi la ku post mangizo editor isithombe sakho, I have to know ukuthi vele, okay, Sharp, this is how I shot this thing, and then this is how I want to edit that picture. So there's a lot of things that are actually going on. So for those who think I'm a cell phone, I actually replacing a camera, think again. Just think again. Rather say good as in, my phone is making me be more interested in photography than trying to replace the camera. No. Yeah, I think that's the way. I think that's the way. Yeah. Like, it's coming kanjani. But okay, as in, this thing is trying to introduce me. This thing is trying to introduce me to maybe a bigger audience, or like a bigger subject than this one, what this one can actually do. And ukhumbule ukuthi vele in your phone, wena yourself, mawushuta, half of the time you're not even doing the job. You're not even thinking about, okay, how bright is it gonna be, how dark is it gonna be. You're not thinking. The phone does that for you. Unlike someone who's gonna come at you with a camera and then take a picture. Once they actually take a picture, they know, okay, Sharp, this is what I have to eliminate, this is what I have to think about, this is what I have to direct you in this kind of way, this is what I want to see. I want this vision to come alive. That's what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying to make a vision come alive, even if you actually tell us, but then we're trying to align our visions with your visions when we actually have these cameras. So regardless if you have a iPhone, regardless if you have a Samsung, regardless if you have a Huawei, futhi kakhulu abantu Huawei man, yo. And I don't know if you've actually noticed a bokeh or bokeh. You have that blurriness or you want in the background. Usually as a professional photographer we call it a bokeh. It would depend on what we pronounce it, but generally that's like the blurriness of like your background in order for you to stand out in that background. Like we actually think about those things. We actually make you come alive. We actually make you be the center of attention. The center of attention. Center of attention, that means really, I tell the audience, forget everything else, look at me. Just forget everything else, look at me. That's that's how it is. And my conclusion is, okay, in conclusion, cell phones will never replace a camera because of the reason that I actually told you about. If you need to see them, just rewind the tape and then they're already listed there. Cell phones pixels, if I'm not mistaken, they are actually measured in times 100. So whatever megapixels that your manufacturer says about your camera, your phone's camera, you have to just times that by 100. That's how many pixels we actually get in actuality. Because of artificial intelligence, because it's trying to mimic what a camera can actually do, that's why we have to say megapixels, but then they're actually not in megapixels, they're actually in pixels, because your pixels are actually times by 100. Whereas with camera, if I still remember correctly, from all the training that I've actually done from over the years, from Nikon, Canon, Sony, all those people, your pixels in a camera, they actually measured in a million pixels. So my 18 megapixels is actually 18 times a million. So that's 18 million pixels, dots per pixels. As in, I keep on messing up this gamma like over and over again, but then it's actually dots per pixels. A camera, it's 1 million, and then a camera phone, it's actually times 100. If not 100, it's 1,000, but still. So your actual size of your picture is very small compared to a camera. And then once you actually get to your full frame cameras, those are also measured in a million pixels. Even if it says 24.2 pixels, it's actually 24.2 million pixels in actual fact. Hence why when you go into a printing place, if you have a phone, they direct you to that yellow machine. If you have a camera, there's a separate room for you. That's where they actually print your thingies, your pictures. And then in most cases, that's why your phones have only one format of picture type, which is JPEG. JPEG, you can't edit, you can't enhance, you just play around with like certain colors. Whereas with camera, they have about 3 if not 4 types of format cameras, of format pictures, which is your JPEG, NTSC, and then also raw files. those would be like very big, like humongous big. Like one picture of camera. It actually depends on the camera though. One picture, it's actually equal to 6 if not 10 pictures of your camera phone. Like that's how big one of my pictures is. You understand? I hope you do, because I didn't want to do this video, but then someone just actually forced me to, and I don't actually like to prove points, but a little bit of a background nyana, a little bit of education nyana. I hope it's there. I hope you've actually learned something going on forward. So another thing, just please, the price that we charge, it's not because we charge it because we can. No, we charge it because we know the work. We've taken the time, we've taken practice, we've taken, like that picture, that one picture that you see on Facebook or Instagram. Maybe we probably took that picture maybe 150 times with just one pen, just one camera. I have to consider the harshness of the sun or the golden hours. Like those are the type of things that we actually need to think about. That is a lot of work. And then you get people that actually don't know how to pose, that actually go ha ha. That's not a pose. Yes, I know it's an Instagram pose, but that's not a very photogenic pose for most of the time. That's why we actually like, hey, say, to just stand like this, do like this, do like that. Just play around with this part, play around with your hair, do this, do that, do this, do that. That's the directing, and it takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of thinking. It takes a lot of thought. How your picture looks takes a lot of thinking. Takes a lot of thought. How we shoot these pictures in broad daylight, 12 o'clock. I mean, like the sun is hot, blazing. I have to think about that. I have to think about how my camera settings are and things and blah 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 blah, wada. But you actually get the idea. So in most cases, when we charge that price, it's for a very specific reason. That's why we actually charge that price. We actually deserve that amount. Actually, sometimes we actually even deserve even more. Now that I think about it, we actually deserve even more. Because think about this for a second. If you ever went into a place, yeah, and then they say, like, as a photographer, like they actually take you and then they say, I'm bet you like this or say tombe about the clothing brand or about me, I want a model and blah blah blah, whatever. And then you get the people, they're like, okay, bet now you down. Do you have any ideas? Like, like about to like do you have any ideas? They're like, okay, photographer, do your work. Now you do your work. And do what? Exactly. Like, do what? I mean, like, come on, dog. Come on. And then obviously, might as well charge that price. This is your color food. No, come on. Yo, dude. There's a lot of thought that we have to put in there. Meaning, telling you begging that would okay in China. What would look great? Which clothes are gonna look great? What poses are gonna be there? Like, what is the environment that you're actually giving me? How is the lighting? How like where the things should I adjust to actually get this good lighting? Do I have to carry a reflector? Do I have to carry, like, dude, it's a lot of work. We actually deserve like that price. We deserve it. If I charge you 1,000 rand, just pay that 1,000 rand, dog. And if, please, clients, Again, they thought, hey, no, like, with that, man, oh, no, my cousin, hey, my babies, your family. Dude, come on now. I'm trying to feed, I'm trying to eat here. The time Instagram, you saw all my pictures and then you actually liked my portfolio and then you're like, no, dude, as in, I'm going to shoot the for my fashion and what. And then I tell you my price and then you're like, yo, Marantwana, yo, Yankama, ini. I'm like, come on, dude. Come on. We deserve it. We know why. We deserve it. Please. Get your mind right.